Hi guys and welcome to Odds on Champions League. Let's take a look at all the Wednesday fixtures, especially this Bayern Munich Atletico de Madrid with Radek Vegas, our expert who is gonna give you many tips about this first week of the Champions League now. Hello, we are back on the Champions League to analyze the Wednesday fixtures with Radek Vegas. Hello, Radek.
Hey, Eduardo, how are you?
I'm good. And let's start with a big one. Let's start in your country, Germany. We have Bayern, Atletico, German-Spanish clash. Of course, Bayern are really favorites. The champions are back on the competition against a tricky rival, I would say, Atletico, who are not defeated yet this season, and they beat Celta last weekend with, remember, Luis Suarez scoring already 2 goals for the Uruguayan. Do you see that Bayern might have problems here or easy victory?
Yeah, for sure. And you named the main man who will cause the problems with Luis Suarez, because he made 3 goals in 4 games for Atletico, and I think he's the player they missed last season. Atletico was good in the Champions League, made some decent games, but they missed a really hardcore striker, and you can't have a more hardcore striker than Luis Suarez. So he's a brilliant striker still in his age, and he scored last year in the game with Barcelona when Barcelona lost 8-2 against Bayern Munich. He scored against Bayern Munich, and I think he can score in this game as well. And Bayern will have problems with Atletico for sure, because Bayern is used to play against weak teams who are which they can control. But I think Atletico has in every position good players and a good team to make it hard for Bayern Munich's strikers to score. And on the other hand, I think Atletico has now the weapons in the attacking to hurt Bayern Munich. At the end, I expect a bit of a close and low-scoring game, where Bayern Munich is still the favorite, but they had a lot more games than Atletico in the last weeks or month, and the players has been to the national teams. Bayern had a cup game on Thursday. They had a Bundesliga game against weak Arminia Bielefeld on Saturday, which they won 4-1. I think, or 4-0. Nothing special about that. But facing a club like Atletico Madrid in this early stage of the Champions League could be really hard for them. And I want to mention that the cup defender, Bayern Munich, has a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and I think this is another motivation for Atletico Madrid to beat Bayern here. As we've seen last year, Liverpool as cup defender had problems against Salzburg and Napoli in their group games. So everybody will be highly motivated against the defender of the cup, and that's why there are a lot of points speaking for Atletico.
And Atletico beat Liverpool, actually, kicked them out of the Champions League.
Yeah, always a dangerous team with Diego Simeone on the sidelines. So, attention Bayern, and the value I think is on Atletico. I really consider to bet on double chance on Atletico here. If I have to make a result, I would say 1-1 and maybe under 2.5 goals here, because both teams are known for their good defense. You know, Atletico, one of the best defense in Europe for years now. And on the other hand, Bayern won the Champions League because of their great defense as well. They had a brilliant strikers in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. But in the final, they won 1-0 against Paris Saint-Germain with Mbappé, and this could only be because they made a good job defending them, and I think this will be a close game. No, not a lot of goals, but yeah, we will see. I'm very looking forward to this game. I think this is the most interesting game on the whole game day.
I think so, yeah. And they are really favorites, of course, to qualify, because in their group we have also Salzburg, Lokomotiv. With Salzburg, I think every year growing and growing thanks to Red Bull. They won everything in Austria so far. They beat Maccabi Tel Aviv in the preview, and they face Lokomotiv, fourth in Russia, but they had a good strike now with 4 victories in a row. Of course, Salzburg favorite here, 1.6 we have.
Yes, they made a brilliant job last year in the Champions League, and because they had Haaland, who is now at Borussia Dortmund, and also Wang, who went to Leipzig. These two players are missed a lot in Salzburg, but yeah, they have not the really big competition in the Austrian league, and they made it to the Champions League. That's a success for them. But I can't see them here as a clear favorite against Lokomotiv. So we don't know Lokomotiv well. In this game, a lot of things can happen. You can have a clear win of Salzburg, but I tend to a closer game, maybe a draw, or let's see a kind of a surprise here of the underdog. For sure not a game to bet on, because if you don't know both teams very good, it's kind of a gambling bet, throwing dices, and that's not what I like to do in betting.
And next one, we have Group B. We have Real Madrid, Shakhtar. Real Madrid has been terrible. Was terrible this weekend. Oh my God, what a performance against a newly promoted team like Cadiz. They were defeated 0-1. Historic victory for Cadiz. And they are really favorites, 1.34 against Shakhtar, a classic in the Champions League. But they are not been pretty good actually this season. Only 2 victories in 7 games so far. And we have to say that Real Madrid, Zidane changed the half of the team against Cadiz. Many important players wanted to rest to be fit for this Shakhtar game, but the odds are very low for Real Madrid.
Yes, the only thing to consider here is should we bet on Asian handicap on Real to make a clear win of 2 goals in advantage? You're shaking your head. Yeah, Real is a Champions League team, and there's a reason for Zidane to rest his players for this game. And yeah, losing in the league is not always a sign of quality or no quality, because every big team loses from time to time, as we saw with Bayern Munich against Hoffenheim. No one expected this, but it happens. And yeah, so glad to Cadiz. I'm happy with them. So, but Champions League is a different thing. Without their supporters in Bernabeu, that is not such a clear home advantage for Real, but I think it's still an impressive stadium for Shakhtar Donetsk. But the players of the Ukrainian team are...
training ground. They don't play in Bernabeu. They play in training ground, yeah.
Okay, that's a fact I shouldn't have known, so good to have you. That's maybe, yeah, not a huge advantage, but Shakhtar has to travel a lot, so the long way to go to Madrid, and we also have a huge Corona hotspot in Madrid, what's not a really nice place to go at the moment, I think. So that is, that could be, or could face some problems as well. But I'm pretty confident that Real is showing another face in the Champions League, their Champions League face here, and beating Shakhtar Donetsk. So my bet would be Asian handicap minus 1.5 on Real with an odds of 1.88. But I also can understand to be careful here. So Real didn't prove a lot that they are really in good shape at the moment.
Yeah, let's see. Last year they struggled a lot against Galatasaray or Bruges in the Champions League, and it was tough for them to go through. And this year they have a tougher group because they have Inter Milan and Borussia Mönchengladbach also in their group. Interesting game, this one. You always say that Gladbach is not a team of Champions League. Now they have to prove themselves.
Yeah, I think they proved that they are not a team of Champions League. I don't think they are really good, and if you look at their results in the Bundesliga, you can see that they are not an international top team or even a Bundesliga top team. And they just played 1-1 against Wolfsburg on Sunday. Then they have to go to Milan now. Inter lost the derby against AC Milan because Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored twice after his corona infection. He came back and scored twice with the age of 39. You have to laugh, Zlatan. So it's no shame for Inter to lose against Zlatan. I think I watched the highlights of this game, and I think Inter is not a bad team. They are stronger than Gladbach for sure. They have international experienced players like Romelu Lukaku, and the odds on Inter with 1.6 are kind of low, but I tend to bet on Inter here, maybe with an Asian handicap of minus 1 on Inter, because I see them clearly stronger than Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Inter also had a very bad experience last season. They couldn't qualify for the last 16 round, and then they arrived to the final of the Europa League at least. On Group C, we have Man City, Porto, with an irregular start of the season for the citizens in the Premier League, although they beat Arsenal last weekend. And Porto, they drew against Sporting, and they lost against Marítimo in their last 2 games. So Man City, of course, huge favorites here, and last year they proved themselves also like they could be competitive in Europe.
Yeah, but they should not only be competitive, they even were the top favorite to win the Champions League last year, because they are the team with the most value, over $1 billion worth, and they have, with Pep Guardiola, a coach who was considered for a long time as the best coach. But year after year with Bayern Munich and Manchester City, he couldn't manage great teams to win the Champions League. So there are some people who are saying that Guardiola is not this brilliant coach he was in Barcelona, where he had Messi in his best time, and without Messi maybe he wouldn't have won the Champions League with Barcelona as well. So it's not the credit for Guardiola. He's always shrinking a bit in his standings. But in this game, for sure, City is the huge favorite. They have odds of 1.2 or 1.3. And that's fair enough, because we have Porto, who had problems in a weak Portuguese league. We have an alarm situation in Portugal because of the coronavirus. And so everything else than a huge win of City would be a surprise. But you can't win a lot to bet on City here. that's why it's a clear no bet. And maybe to bet on over 3.5 goals, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You can't win a lot in this game because if it's such a clear thing, everyone knows that, then most of the time it's not really that clear. So yeah, no value in there.
In this group, we also have Olympiacos, Olympique Marseille. These two teams will fight for sure with Porto for the second spot in the group. We have two Portuguese coaches here. There are Portuguese managers all over Europe. And Olympiacos is slightly favorite here. We have odds 2.48, Marseille 3.22. But Marseille beat PSG, for instance, this year.
Yeah, without knowing the exact strengths of the teams, I'm a bit surprised about the high odds on Marseille, because I consider the French league stronger than the Greek league, and for sure I think Marseille has a lot of talented and good players. That's why they're playing here in the Champions League. And Olympiacos has a fewer competition in the Greek league, so they are almost like every year going to the Champions League because no other Greek team wants to. And so yeah, I won't say they are a clear favorite here, and I like the odds on the other underdog here, Olympique Marseille, more, because I don't see them as a clear underdog. Maybe a bet on Asian handicap 0, which means draw no bet, on Marseille with odds of 2.22 is worth a shot.
Okay, and another very, very interesting game on this Wednesday is Ajax Liverpool. Remember that Van Dijk got injured this weekend, so this is a major blow for the Reds. This season they drew in the Merseyside derby, and Ajax, they are second in the league with 12 points, I think, after the impressive performance 2 years ago where they were just this close to arrive to the final, and last season that they were kicked out of the competition. Very strange, I would say. With Valencia and Chelsea, it's their time for a revenge, but Liverpool big favorites here, odds 1.77.
Yeah, this are on both sides attractive odds, because in a normal situation Liverpool is still one of the best teams in Europe, and yeah, they made the championship last year in England. Last year is I think 2 months ago, and last season. And Ajax lost, like every year, a lot of quality players, and they have to find their new core team again. And so I don't think Ajax is still in this brilliant shape like 2 years ago or even last year. So even if Van Dijk is missing for some months, Liverpool is still strong enough to beat every team, and especially Ajax. So if I would bet here, I would bet on Liverpool, but the odds of 177 on Liverpool are a little bit too low to make a value bet here, because I think the odds are good but not brilliant.
And actually be careful with, I mean, the normal thing is that Liverpool and Atalanta go through, but be careful because Ajax and Atalanta especially, they will fight for this second spot, or if Liverpool start losing, they might have problems as they had it last year, as you mentioned, with Napoli, for instance. And the last game we are gonna analyze is this Midtjylland from Denmark Atalanta, one of our favorite teams, I'm sure. We can expect many goals, and you can bet on over 2.5 easily because they always score a lot of goals. This weekend, though, they were defeated 4-1 against Napoli. At halftime, they were losing 4-0, but if you see the results in Serie A with Gasperini's Atalanta, is like crazy. And they are favorite, of course, to win in Denmark. Odds 1.57 for Atalanta.
Yeah, that are a bit too low odds after this defeat against Napoli. Bergamo made a brilliant season last year, but I think they were floating on a wave because in the group stage of the Champions League, in the first 3-4 games, they were not very good, and I thought they might clearly go home, and then they improved a lot. The Danish team Midtjylland is new to the Champions League. They are clearly the underdog here, and for sure Bergamo has to win this game, but I'm not a huge fan of this Bergamo team as you are. To bet on over goals would mean maybe over 3.5 goals. Could be hard in this game as well. You get odds of 2.2. If you think there will be 4 goals, then it's a good bet for you. For me, I don't trust both of the teams. It's a classical game between two kind of no-name teams in Europe. I want to see Atalanta prove what they showed last year in a second year in a row, but I don't know if they're capable to do that.
Okay, I only tell you that 4 games so far in Serie A: Torino 2, Atalanta 4, Lazio 1, Atalanta 4, Atalanta 5, Cagliari 2, and then Napoli 4, Atalanta 1. So at least 5 goals in every game. That's crazy in Europe, absolutely. That's why I'm a fan of this team. Mm-hmm. But we will see next week then. Thanks, Radek.
Thank you. It was fun, like always.
I'm really fan of Atalanta. Are you also a fan of the Italian team? Please let me know in the comment section everything that you think about these games. And if you enjoyed the video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to get notifications. Also, remember you can listen to all our podcasts on Spotify. We will be back next week with all the information about the Champions League.